Good morning, RushRev. How's it going, guys? This is the most electric part of your morning. Here to talk about RushRev, play some games, answer any questions you have. Let's do it. We've got a chat room or a custom lobby down below. The name is GMRR. The password is RushRev, all lowercase, one word. And I'm also going to be moving into the community streams channel on Discord. And I'd love for you all to come and join me in either of those places. I'm going to run into Chaos Lab. By the way, on the next patch, Chaos Lab and Forbidden Abyss will be included in random, which means on quick play you might run into those stages. Curious what you guys think about that. Good morning, STYBBZ. Good to see you here this morning. How you doing? Nathan, how you doing? Good to see you again. Paul Dalby. Are you going to be playing with us, Mr. Floggy Noggins? Alright, we got somebody. Let's do it. It's Floggy Noggins himself.
I'm in.
Oh, you're grayed out for some reason. And Dofield's here! The champ! Dofield, dude. Your videos are so amazing. We watched them all on the Good Morning RushRev 2 episodes ago, if you want to watch that VOD. Speaking of which, I'm curious if like, are the VODs automatically uploaded? Let me look. No, they're not. What the hell? Alright, RushRev number 5 and number 6 are now live on our YouTube. That's a bummer. I thought they would be on automatically. Alright, I'm gonna have to remember to do that. Alright, Floggy, let's do it. Who should I play, chat? Who do you guys want me to play today?
Play Ezzy.
Ezzy? Okay. What if my Ezzy's actually been better than my Wei Shan this whole time?
And we'll find out, won't we?
We will. Oh, Nathan also says Ezzy.
Oh, did I do a turnaround then?
Nice, nice. That was a great down special, Floggy.
Yeah, I'll probably just throw them out to figure out whether there's a good use for them.
Well, blast zones need to get fixed. I have to rush to get off that. Morning, Ark. How you doing today? So, chat, what would you guys like to see us patch today? What should we fix in the game? What needs to be fixed? Besides the blast zones on this map, because that really needs to get fixed. I'm gonna hot fix that first. Oh. Did you mean to do a fall through on that? I'm assuming not.
No. It's 'cause there's no no jump squat when you go through platforms. So you're gonna get one frame above the input. Oh.
Aw. No! I had burst. Shame. So Ark, still there. What do you like to play? You'd like to see some work done on landing animations. Yeah, that floating thing. That is a really good thing to fix. Oh, jeez, Floggy. So that floating glitch, I don't know what's causing it, but what I think is happening is, I think it has to do with a coincidence of timing. So it's like, if you're in hit stun and you come out of hit stun on like the same frame you land, yeah, I want to fix it. I think that it like doesn't know what to do, basically. If that makes sense. You're like changing states while landing, basically, and the game's like, I don't know what to do. Oh, by the way, rollback, Phantom Sparks should be fixed. I don't know if that's this patch or it's not live yet, but I think I have a fix for that. Oh, it's too predictable. Hey, and you've been playing Urda offline against bots, working on your sparks? Perfect. That's great. Speaking of which, I need to work on my sparks. STYBBZ is here. All right, here comes my Ezzy. I'm about to feel her out. Outside of patching, I'd love some spark training. Well, come in and join. Oh, you can't charge grab nair. That's because we made it so that grab is always uncharged. Hey Punch, welcome. I noticed shield stop and wave dashing out of it is not smooth. Shield stop. So like when I let go of shield. What do you mean by that? Shield stop and wave dashing out of it. That seemed pretty smooth to me.
That's in when you're hit when shielding.
Yeah, it's pretty laggy. It's intended to be a bit laggy when you're in shield stop. Look at that cross up. You just let me do it to you.
Outplayed.
God tier, Ezzy. Let me see. I mean, you can't wave dash too fast out of it, too early. Shield, wave dash, shield, wave dash. No?
I think when you're hit.
Oh, I see. Hey, Echo Oracle, how you doing, man? It's been a little minute. It's been a minute. How you doing? Basically, you're just saying when you get hit, you can't. No, not on hit stun. Maybe it's a controller-specific technique. Oh, the other thing with the invincibility lasting too long, I think I fixed that too. Or the invincibility effect, I mean. Oh, that thing right there, right? Where you get knocked to the ground and you're just, like, stuck. I haven't been keeping up with development, so I'm going to start paying attention to these streams. Not a bad idea. I mean, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So you could ask me at the beginning of every stream, hey, what's new in the game? And I could just tell you. If you're wave dashing the smash way, not using the rush button, that's just suboptimal, basically. You should just wave dash using the rush button. The fact that the smash button works is really just a convenience. But like, if you want that smooth result, you need to use rush. You're playing a new game. You got to learn new techniques. You can't rely on what you've known all these years. I'm glad you brought that up, Punch. Otherwise, we wouldn't have figured out what's wrong. I mean, spamming the rush button is super fun, but you just gotta get used to using it all the time. Oh my god, that was hilarious. STYBBZ just like tech up tilt, tech up tilt. If I were to ask you what was new, you'd have to update me on stuff from 2 months ago. Alright, so 2 months ago.
They finally deleted Afi and Galoo.
We deleted Afi Galoo. We've got a bunch of new changes coming soon. You know, we're playing on new stages already. We've got a new Erda model coming into the game. We've got... well, I gotta learn how to do the photo.
Oh. I'm pressing special and nothing is happening.
On what controller?
As in like when I spawn,
Yeah?
if I press special, nothing happens. But
That's
if I press
weird.
other buttons, it lets me do stuff.
That's weird. STYBBZ is dead. Same. When I spawn, I can't do anything for a bit, he said. Interesting. I think it's just that the spawn and respawns are kind of messed up on this map, honestly.
It happens on other maps as well, I find. Or at
Oh,
least
interesting.
something similar happens anyway.
Interesting.
Can't do diagonals at all. If I do a single diagonal up special, it's a miracle. Hey!
You just did one. STYBBZ, on this map, when you respawn, and you're stuck on the platform, just rush and you'll get out of it. It's a glitch with this map. So like right here, see how I can't move? You have to rush first. But I'll fix that.
Hey, Bobby.
It's
Hello.
Levi. What's up, dude? Good
When
morning.
are you gonna change your Discord tag to OY's vlog stage?
Vlogs are
Uh-oh.
a missed opportunity. Sadly, it can never be done.
Hey, Jade. How's it going? Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. The screen hasn't been the main thing. That's what happens when you try to stream this in the morning. You're like, not awake yet. Let me fix that.
We've just got a perfectly large view of Keiko's face.
You guys, I mean, weren't complaining, so...
How could you?
Yeah, how could you complain about that? Everyone loves Keiko's head. Thanks, Jade. Shoutouts to Jade, MVP of the stream today, for fixing my...
Game.
She didn't fix the game, she fixed the stream. Let's say that. Eva, will you be joining us? You know who I haven't played is Ezzy on Forbidden Abyss.
Player 2 wins.
Oh yeah, that's actually a glitch that's been in for a pretty long time. I feel like it got fixed at one point and then came back for some reason.
Fix
The
Weishan
wait-
being pushed backwards when shield bashing?
Yeah, when Weishan shield bashes a move, he'll get launched backwards for some reason. And I think it's depending on the amount of shield stop that the move has. Don't start, don't start, don't start.
Nope, you're too late.
No.
Weishan shield bash. Who was the sacrifice? It was STYBBZ. Oh, sorry, STYBBZ. Oh, we're all Ezzy now? Okay. Oops, all Ezzies. Sacrifice. That's right, Nathan. Oh, oh, oh. Floggy trying to break out here. Alright, so Arc wants some tutorial stuff. And to fix landing and you like float. I'm gonna look at that. I think it's a physics thing.
Yeah, that's been around for a really long time. It's like for some reason it has something to do with like I'll bet that it has to do with like the ECB being a little bit higher when they're in tumble. And so it doesn't actually snap to the ground for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think it's like the ECB from tumble to active shifts the ECB, and it's like it might like skip the ground when you transition on certain frames.
Right. Hey guys, if you ever want to sound smart, just mention the ECB, and you'll sound smart.
Now I know your trick, Levi. This whole time I've been tricked, been deceived to your understanding of the game.
That's how I got on Team Vortex.
That's right. You just.
So I just randomly started mentioning ECVs. Thing is, I'm usually right.
Get out of here! Oh! No!
So is there a certain speed that you fly at where, like, that's not wall techable? Like, if you get zoom killed, that's not wall techable, right? But like, the next bounce after that is.
No, I don't believe any of them are for tech zooming. Is this the tournament? Is the tournament gonna be on this map? I don't think so, but you might be able to gentlemen's to it if you wanted to.
That's not a can of worms I want to try opening.
Oh my
Okay, so I
gosh.
see what's happening. So if they die on soul points, it's basically it'll make them bounce around and not be able to tech. But if they manage to run out of momentum before they hit the blast zone, then they survive. Yeah, we could probably do like just a casual stages tournament. A casual stage is like 4v4 free for all or whatever. I think that'd be a fun tournament to do.
No!
We'll do like a Nintendo Smash tournament where it's just casual rules.
Floggy can't kill me. Oh, I DI'd the wrong way. No.
He really has like a hard time chasing with anything other than up special.
It's just because she's chasing Ezzy. Ooh.
Everyone has a hard time chasing.
Everybody has a hard time chasing Ezzy. It's just that Ezzy has up special, which is a very good chase tool. Ooh.
Keiko wins!
Player 1.
Oh!
Like if you put Erda in there, she has a hard time chasing Ezzy with pretty much anything.
A Forbidden Abyss only tourney would be insane. I feel like we should do it now.
You
guys are making me think.
Like I was just saying we should do like just a free for all tournament on
The casual stages, yeah.
on casual stages, yeah. You're a kid. Oh no.
When is Aang coming back? That's a good question. I don't know if he's going to be back in time for the next Open Alpha. He'll have to come back for the following one.
There's a chance that it might be like mid Open Alpha, but
I don't
we're trying to
think
take
so.
our time with it. Just to make sure that everything's perfect, or at least close to perfect before they come back.
Oof, oof, oof.
Get me out of here. Jeez, that move.
Are you guys getting frame drops on the lethal hits, or is it just
Yes.
me? Okay.
No.
Let's go.
Come here, Floggy.
Can't do turnarounds because diagonals don't work.
What's wrong with your controller, dude?
Like, diagonals are just really, really hard to input on this game.
I actually think that it's a controller thing.
I think it's a thing that happens on controllers, and it happens on like every controller I've tried, and a bunch of other people have the same problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem with the inputs, because my controller, like when I've been making my own controller stuff, I can get the inputs working consistently on just like normal looking angles. But in this game, the diagonals just don't work properly, or they require incredibly like specific angles. But it only
Yeah,
comes up
Stib's
with
got-
like
got
heavy up
twice.
special and turnaround up specials.
Got him.
But when you want to do one of those things, it's very annoying.
Somebody kill me. We're living. We call that impeccable DI.
Did my shield bash kill you? Or is that Stibs?
No. I think I got Rayshon down here. No.
Wah, wah, wah.
Got him.
Did you get me, or did I let you get me? Ha! I need Stibs to bring me back in. Stibs!
Only Rayshon has the power.
Here I come!
Let's
Whee!
go.
Thank you, Stibba.
You made my victory possible.
Oh, whoops. What? You tapped that.
Yeah, that wasn't a, or I guess it was a super kill. So yeah, I guess it is techable.
Yeah, you can definitely tech them. I don't know if you can tech them immediately then.
Maybe it's
Player 4 wins.
Evil's
Maybe
been
it's
playing
just-
billiards. He knows the angles. All right, who should I play now, guys? I'll keep playing Ezzy. I'm used to playing a big, strong warrior, though. Floggy, you looking at the stats, or where are you? Oh, there you are.
Oh, still doing Abyss?
Yeah? What's wrong with Abyss?
Tired of these childish games.
What's our plan for a ranked mode? Our plan is to have a ranked mode. And it's coming.
Big brain combos.
Come at me, STYBBZ.
Almost.
Ah!
Oh, yeah, I did get frame drops there.
Yeah.
No!
Oh, that stopped your momentum going up? That's very unusual.
Oh, the cross up. Nice, STYBBZ.
How do you do the faster monkey flip?
The fast one?
Oh,
Yeah,
you have to have fuel. You have to have fuel.
Ah,
It's like if you hold the button for longer than 5 frames, when you have fuel, you'll do it. If you do like a short hop input with it, then it just does a short one.
ah.
But if you don't have fuel, then it will always do a short one.
How is this Richter guy? No, I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. There we go. This guy just like goes around posting that shit. He's been in our Good Morning RushRev before. It's crazy. I have to make a new account now if you want to do that. Alright, anyway. The most hype thing about this map is when someone gets just some guy was just posting crazy shit in the chat. That's like totally unrelated to Rushdown Revolt, just like political stuff. Yeah.
Oh, my DI wasn't good enough. I wonder if I can.
How do you get fuel? Oh, is it the same way as the shiny?
No, you hit them.
Oh, you don't even need to spark.
No. I suggested, I wanted it to be on Spark, but it's just
Not on spark makes sense, I guess. If spark consumes fuel.
Well, Spark doesn't consume fuel. I guess Rush does. Ooh. Oh, almost.
Whoa, 1 minute left.
All of the like new moves that have been added to the game have like noticeably slower than like most of the existing moves. Is this like a plan for like all the kits to slowly get like not have full frame attacks, or is it just a trend that's somewhat random?
I think it's a little bit intentional for the new moves to just add variety to the game. It's not that we're trying to shift anything, we're just trying to give people options that are like higher risk, high reward. Because if everything was just a fast attack, it just becomes push buttons the game. And so we're trying to get people a chance to think and decide what they want to do.
Player 3 wins.
Yeah, I think that's what it was like in Icons, which is part of why the game was boring.
Call us KOs, Kako.
I feel like it's gonna be awkward to have like an interesting balance when most of the moves are so fast. Because like it really does put a big damper on the usability of the slower moves.
Well, the thing to think about it is the slower moves can be used for mix-ups. They can be used mid-combo. Like, people have go-to moves for openers anyways, and so, like, and a lot of the moves that we've also been doing are specials, and very rarely are specials part of someone's opening kit, right? Specials are almost always situational. So you couldn't move there, could you? Floggy?
Oh, no, that was just paused thinking rather than any actual bug.
Oh, okay.
And then there's moves like Ur de Forward Air, which is like one of the best moves in neutral in the game. Oh, despite being slow.
Well, it's one of the best moves in neutral because it's quite fast. Or at least it's like a moderate speed, right? It's only got 6 frames of startup if you've charged it. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but if you charge it like that's a reactable thing.
You can react to
That
the
being said,
charging happening, but you can't
the
react
snap
right
range of
when
it
they
is
want
very
to
high.
release it.
I think it's definitely more of a I think it's more of a range thing than it is a speed thing.
Well, so it's both fast and long ranged and very strong.
It's fast maybe for its range, but I wouldn't say that objectively frame data wise it's a fast move.
Oh, bye, Floggy Noggins. Where'd you go?
That crash because I need to go. Need to go look at the frame data for this.
I had the frame data written down somewhere.
All I want to do is land a down special. Someone give me one.
Are you playing now?
Ezzy?
That move needs to kill in orange. Wow.
Are you being sarcastic?
I mean, I'm all for the idea of an Ezzy that just has half the health that she currently has and is way stronger, so that she dies quicker but also kills everyone quicker. Because currently my problem with Ezzy is that she kind of drags out games by dying kind of slowly and not actually killing very well, outside of like a select few combos.
don't know if that's necessarily accurate. I mean,
This is my moment to say good morning and to say no, Ezzy does have kill power. You're capping.
Ezzy has forward air, and
She has forward air, but she doesn't have good ways to like get people to kill %. Other than like.
Other than her incredible combo game and crazy openers and projectiles and
Nah,
projectiles that
combo
combo
game's
into
worse than you
moves.
think. That's my take.
Okay.
Hey guys, this isn't debate class, okay? So Floggy has his opinion on Ezzy and you disagree. The end.
Oh, anyway, Erda fair is 6 frames
On charge release.
on charge release.
Yeah, that's different from the move being 6 frames.
Evil, stop debating. I'm gonna ban you from Good Morning RushRev. Don't debate. Players. Have you ever heard me say anything like that?
I mean, I think it's
Ever?
important.
Have you ever heard me ever say to any player and start debating them about something? Never.
I've heard you say it about Erda's dropkick.
No, what I've done is explain my position, and what I've done is ask people why they feel the way that they do. So when Floggy says Ezzy doesn't have kill moves, what I would say is, why do you feel like Ezzy doesn't have kill moves?
Oh no, she does have kill moves.
Oh, why do you feel like she can't kill people well? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. It's just she tends not to.
No, but
Like,
why
in-game.
do you feel that way? Like, what moves do you feel like should have kill potential but don't have kill potential?
No, it's not kill potential. It's like combo potential more.
Okay.
accurately. Like she kills in a fairly high number of neutral interactions.
Yeah, welcome, STYBBZ. I'm glad you're here. So, like, for example, you just think that most of her moves should be easier to combo into without using up B, was basically what I'm trying to put together from other stuff you've said before. Oh, see, like, oh, hold on, I can't move, but that's because I had the game all tabbed out.
So yes, but only if she also gets like health, gets easier to be comboed herself. Currently, she's in like quite a balanced state, I think, where she doesn't kill as well as other people, or more accurately, doesn't kill like as fast as other people, but also she doesn't get killed herself fast. Like, there's been quite a good job of balancing her, I think, but the balance of her isn't my issue. It's just that games kind of drag on a little bit with her in, but it's not a huge deal.
I think that
I think that's a product of her neutral rather than her punish game. I don't think it has anything to do with Ezzy's punish game that the games drag on. I think it's just that
I'll fix you.
No, I mean I was able to just jump, but you can't. For some reason, I couldn't run like that.
I think part of the problem is that for Ezzy, she's got gravity, which dramatically helps with her punish game, but also means that you have to play around her projectiles, which some people might not want to do.
There's that, and also the fact that the projectiles are just really, really good. Like they just cover a lot of space. Specifically, specifically bats. I mean, that's like the best projectile in the game right now, probably.
So I would say, like, if you play projectile heavy Ezzy, you probably won't have issues following up with people, obviously, because you're gonna have something that literally
Bats is,
makes
like, the best combo starter in the game, like by far. Since it leaves your opponent in such a good spot to be followed up,
Yeah,
and like
and it has
you
so
get
much
gravity
hit
lock
lag
on
because
it.
there's 3 of them. You can follow up on it really easily.
Yeah, along with
And it
like
also does
it giving
15
your
damage.
opponent gravity lock, like
But do we want to have a character where you have to play with the projectiles to open, you know?
So this is where I think she gets to the point where she doesn't actually tend to kill people quickly, because you don't get the hit.
but quickly does not mean like bad though. I mean like Ezzy's a slower paced character, but that's just by design. It doesn't mean she's like bad in any means. Do you get where I'm saying that, or why I'm saying that?
Yeah, so my issue with it is that the game feels like it's a game that you play around in 3 minutes, and then you play against an Ezzy and the rounds take 5 minutes, right?
That's also minorly the fault of the Ezzy player just abusing like their movement and stuff. Like, it's very hard to catch an Ezzy in general. Like, her ability to be reverse or neutral special a bunch of times makes her like an incredibly difficult character to keep up with. She has like
Also,
very good movement.
It's like that's like the best stalling move in the game. Like she can just like go off the stage and like be reverse neutral special a bunch of times, grab the ledge, like.
Other characters have similar things though, right?
Not really.
By the way,
no,
Evil,
no, the
stop it.
character's
Stop it.
What?
You cannot you're not allowed to disagree
I'm
with
not
players.
just trying to, like,
No, by the
explain,
way, Jackson is not a dev. So Jackson can disagree with FLOGGY. I'd prefer if he didn't and just shared his perspective on Ezzy, but
That's what I'm trying to do
yeah,
here. I'm
but
just,
but
like,
no,
saying,
you're
like,
doing fine. But I'm saying Evil. If someone says something and you disagree with it, and that's not accurate, what you don't say no, you don't say that's wrong. You just say, so why do you feel the way that it is, and understand it.
I'm not even checking right now. The game is checking for me.
Are you? Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? It's a pretty
Well, I
wide
think maybe
window.
It might be ceiling text.
Are automatic?
Wait.
Here, try it.
Where are you gonna go?
Okay.
Yeah, ceiling texts are automatic.
That's okay. Interesting.
Okay, so that might be why some stocks aren't ending on Abyss.
Maybe. I'll take a note of that.
All those sick texts I did. Less impressive now.
Yeah, I was like, I swear I'm not hitting these texts.
A minute left. Goodbye, Levi. Whee!
Oh god, circle camp the stage. No.
I think
Will you let
that
me jump from ledge, please.
I think that FLOGGY brings up a really good point though about Ezzy's kit, and I know that we're planning on changing, or like we're thinking about the gravity lock. As something to potentially fix. I think that if we made Ezzy a faster faller, which is something that we did tune up relatively recently, like 3 months ago, we might want to tune it up a little bit more so she can be comboed. But then I think
Wasn't
that's gonna
it only in hit stun she's a faster faller. Or did she just like increase her fall speed?
That's right.
Which one?
We made her. I'm trying to think. I think we just made her gravity go up. I'm not sure what that did. We increased her jump speed so that it canceled out, but I feel like with Ezzy, the only thing I can really combo into is like Nair, for example. But that's just me. I'm just bad.
Photo
She's
showed off
definitely
some
a
really
oh
good-
god, I died to that. She's definitely a precise character.
So, one of the things that I found difficult when trying to combo with her is that her horizontal mobility is... vertical mobility is fairly slow when not using
Up special.
up special. And so it becomes like, if they're above or below me, I don't feel like anything's going to work unless I up special them.
Yeah, and I think that that's an okay weakness to have, especially given like the up air that she has is just a big like orb of hitbox. Kind of similar to Ashani, although that was kind of taken back. But being completely honest, there's not many characters in this game that can travel upwards that quickly without using up special.
Ow.
Like the only characters I can think of that
I
can
can't
do it are
move.
like
I can't move.
You gotta rush when you spawn there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hot fix that. Ah!
Yeah, though somewhat more uniquely, is she struggles to like combo on people below her, or at least I struggle to when I'm playing her. Because
Who here is really good at Ezzy? Jackson?
Yeah. What moves are you like generally trying to do in those low percent bands though? And like, what are you trying to start off with? Because there's a lot of ways. Like I know Photo showed off in the tournament that like
Here,
side special is one of the best moves to be comboing into very consistently due
Can
to
we
like
quit
To be
out?
honest, you can just
egregiously
use
large
side
win
special.
value.
Can we quit out?
Oh, okay.
Jackson, can you do like a mini coaching session with Floggy and show him some combo tools? What stage do you want to do? Both play Ezzy.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. You could just throw it on random.
I'll just do Sovereign Peak. Floggy,
Okay.
you quitting out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one of the things I saw watching Fota was that he didn't get very many long combos. Most of his combos were 2 or 3 hits. And he won the tournament, right? It's not...
Alright, so generically with Ezzy, a lot of your neutral game is going to be just kind of like, I wouldn't say always jumping off legend, charging neutral special, but the advantage of charging neutral special off stage is that you're going to be able to like move your momentum however you want, and you can cancel it with both float and you can cancel it with jump. So it leads into a lot of good neutral movement mix-ups, even just like little micro interactions. Like you can kind of like fake out your opponent by using neutral special 1 and hit him with the mind part and try to convert off of that. Or if you want to, if you have a
And
lead
that's just
your
wiggling the
opponent's not playing-
stick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just wiggling the stick back and forth. Like you can move left and right whenever you want while you're charging it. So if your opponent even like doesn't have a lead and you're just like really annoyed at them not coming straight for you, you just throw mine out in front of you and try to force them to play around that. It's super egregiously annoying on Sovereign Peak as well because the stage has like such a huge horizontal length that you have a lot of room to run away from your opponent. Just know though that if you set out, can you set out a neutral special 1? You can shield bash it while it's on the ground here. And then it turns back towards you and you can get hit by it. But I don't think when you get hit by it, you get the effect. I think that might be a bug if you want to fix that quick, Keiko. So if you shield bash neutral special 1 while it's on the ground,
It's so hard to hit neutral special 1.
it's just like walk up towards it. Oh, do you play on keyboard?
No.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. So if I get hit by it while in shield bash, I take the 8 or 1 damage depending on the hit, but I don't get the effect. All right. Combo game. A lot of your beginners or beginning combos will be starting off with like a few up tilts on the ground. It's a very good while slarging. I know you hate that word, but we're slarging.
It's not called slarging.
Yeah, slarging up tilt is relatively good for starting combos. Of course, this move is incredible as well. You can float while your opponent's in hit stop while they're in like lower bands. You got put in orange there, but while you're in lower bands or even in like orange band, if your opponent DI's out, it's harder to follow up. But if your opponent DI's in or has no DI, you're able to do some pretty good up airs out of it. Now, bats is the better one though for comboing because it puts your opponent at an angle and at a knockback that is much better for higher band comboing or just for higher band interactions. You have to be very precise when comboing off of those two. So let's say if I hit you like this, I just kind of like nair into a side special. I did not time that right. So up special is like another big move you're going to be comboing it too. I don't use it as much in my gameplay. If you want to watch like Buckles' gameplay ever, he's much better at doing it. I'm just trying to like do follow-ups without up special right now, but I'm kind of failing at that all around. You kind of get where I'm getting at though?
Maybe.
Okay. Another thing you can do is if your opponent is up in the air at all, stop moving. If your opponent's up in the air at all, you can try to catch their landing with neutral special 3. because the move in red band kills relatively easily if you're like about this high off the ground. So if I have you at any height off the ground, oh well, that killed. Down throw kills.
I think that was bad DI because that shouldn't have killed by itself.
Maybe I think it might have been just Sovereign Peak having like the ceiling that it does.
Maybe.
So generic SE combos will be starting off on the ground either with up tilt, and usually in green band is about when you're trying to lead your up air into up air chains, because like that move combos into itself relatively easy and can kill. So I'm gonna attempt to demonstrate that while failing at the same time. So that's good DI.
So what I'm gathering from this, first of all, Jackson, thank you for doing this. This is awesome. I actually would love to do like a much more lengthy version of this. I feel like the community as a whole could really benefit from it. But I also think that what you're talking about for Ezzy is, I know it's your personal preference and it's like maybe what's optimal with the current game and moves, but it feels extremely precise.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the problem, is that like in every other character you can kind of just wing it, and with Ezzy, if you don't know what to do, you're screwed.
Yeah, it's one of the faults of the character. She seems like a very high skill, high ceiling character, or high skill ceiling character, to put it lightly.
Well, I think it's okay to have high skill ceiling characters.
Yeah, that's okay. It's just like difficult to learn her without like understanding her kit to the fullest. I wasn't ready to do a full blown lesson there, but
no,
yeah,
you did it fine. You winged the lesson fine, but I think that like what I'm learning about this is that her options don't have, because her rush is so good. And we've done this on purpose, unfortunately, where I was like, her movement is so good that we need to make her moves more precise to make the movement being good needed rather than
just
like, being
you
overpowered.
Know, yeah. Because like you have to be good at the good movement to be good at the character. You have to have very precise neutral interactions while playing with that character. If you're not like only going for like just super campy ledge grab gameplay, you have to be like super good with movement. And the fault of a lot of lower level Ezzies, they're just going to be using up special a lot more in neutral, because it's like a relatively normal movement option that's like a hitbox, rather than playing for those like super precise like rushing into neutral special or a neutral special.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah, go ahead.
And like, this isn't the balance council, but this is a question I would ask the balance council. What would happen if we basically just took Ezzy's base knockback on all of her moves and or just in general, and didn't adjust the charge scaling, but just basically took her knockback down like 10%, 15%?
I feel like that would make a few higher band combos a lot easier than they necessarily need to be, because as I explained, you're going to be using bats a lot in neutral at those like orange percents or red, or not orange percents, orange band and red band damage areas. You're going to be using bats a lot for that, and with good DI you can escape that. But I feel like if you lower the base knockback and it, like you use bats, like those confirms are going to be so much easier. And I feel like that'll just make the character a little better, because like her forward air already is an incredibly strong kill move. You saw she has those like up air chains, like Foda did a few of those during the tournament. By lowering the base knockback, you make those chains a bit like easier to hit, which makes the character much better. And I don't know if that's what you're aiming for. But like by making that easier, you're just giving the good players who are already great at the character and like the movement and the neutral special usage, like you're just giving them more of an advantage to like play even more, I wouldn't say precise, but like even more I'm
Or
trying to find the word
maybe
for
the
it.
moves that you're already using, up tilt, up air, those moves are probably okay, but I feel like maybe her forward air, her forward tilt, maybe we need to make forward tilt like a much, much, much faster move, but dramatically weaker, so that it can be used as an opener.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good trade-off because forward tilt as is, or forward strike, excuse me. Forward strike is like incredibly strong. It's very disjointed. And I feel like if it was like a better combo starter for more horizontal-based combos, it would make the character's kit like a little bit more interesting. It would give them more grounded like options. Because as it stands, not a lot of Ezis are going to be using like, you know, the Ashani forward tilt, forward tilt, forward tilt. They're going for a lot more like slower pace neutral, not as much in your face. Whereas if you gave that to Ezzy, it would make her like a little bit more unique and neutral. Which I think.
What if we also gave her forward tilt gravity lock?
If you gave forward tilt gravity lock, like would forward tilt set off gravity lock, or like would put the gravity
It would put it
lock
on.
back? Okay. I feel like at green band that's a little scary because like I can think of a few confirms. Like if you give forward tilt gravity lock, you could easily like follow up with another side special right after that, and like your opponent instantly gets put into gravity lock after that side special because your opponent's probably in the range to get sucked up by it.
That's a really safe move.
And that's a very good move.
Giving a move that's that safe, a debuff that strong, is a really scary premise.
But I mean, neutral special is already that safe. You can barely shield bash bats as is, and it's not very hard to react to shield bash neutral special 3.
What I'm thinking is that we basically look at Ezzy and we say, okay, Ezzy, her projectiles currently give gravity lock. What if we just said Ezzy's spells do gravity lock? So anything that has like magic on it is gravity lock applying. So her down attack, her forward attack, her up tilt, her down tilt. However, we would have to dramatically nerf the impact of gravity lock. So we would do like half the duration of gravity lock, for example.
See, the duration of gravity lock doesn't necessarily matter though. It's that the effect of gravity lock still remains. Unless gravity lock like canceled directly back into the knockback rather than putting your opponent straight into like tumble downwards. Because like gravity lock, the power of it now is that even if you aren't able to follow up off of it, you still guaranteed know where your opponent's going to be and you can react off of it based off of that. I feel like it would be better if gravity lock like held your opponent, and then if you weren't able to follow up on the gravity lock, your opponent still got sent into like the knockback, but not as much knockback. If you could somehow implement that, I don't know how difficult.
So
that
it
would
wasn't
be
like,
it
wasn't quite gravity lock, but it was like gravity pause.
Yeah.
So you like had
They're
your
more like
trajectory,
knockback
you had your
pauses.
trajectory, it pauses, and then if you don't hit them, they keep going.
Yeah. I feel like that would be a little bit more fair because as gravity lock is right now, your opponent gets held by it for like just a little under a second, and then they fall straight downwards after that. And if your opponent doesn't like want to like mix it up, they're going to get hit by whatever aerial as he's charging. If they want to mix it up, there's a good chance the Ezzy can react off of that. Because Ezzy has the tools to like react off of, you know, your opponent rushing upwards after their gravity lock. Let's say the Ezzy waits a little bit and goes for like a super jump into like a float rush. They can easily react off of like your opponent doing any other option. Whereas if it was a gravity or like a knockback pause, they fly away after that, and it's like much harder to follow up, which I think would make it a little bit more fair.
I think the idea of gravity lock is a little bit scary in this game. Just,
It
the whole
is, and
premise
I
of it,
think
because,
it's
like,
cool at the same time, but I feel like the power Ezzy has, like, in just her charging aerials, like, her charging forward air is obviously, like, very, very strong, like, it's on Erda
Charging
levels
Nair.
of strong. Charging Nair is very strong, the range on that move is crazy.
I think those are the two. Those are like the
Yeah,
two
that's definitely the
biggest
two, because, like,
differences.
her up air's okay when, like, charging, it's not, like, incredibly strong. Like the power and up air goes off of like its combo capability and lower
Yeah,
bands.
it's probably better uncharged, honestly.
Down air, like after hitting gravity lock, I don't think that people go for that often, so I don't really have like anything to say on that.
Down air is
Yeah.
pretty low base knockback, which means that you can, if you have gravity lock, you can follow up on that really easily. And
Okay.
if they're off stage, they just get down aired again.
What I
You can
don't
down air down
like
even without it.
about Ezzy currently is that she's so projectile dominant. You need to use the projectiles to play her, and I don't like that. It's not expressive at all, right? Like
Yeah, no,
I think
Projectile
agree on
and
that, like-
movement.
I think
Like,
that
she has
I think she should
such
be
incredibly
projectile
strong
leaning. I think she
projectiles.
should be a projectile leaning character, just like Raymer, right? But like she shouldn't be like a projectile necessary character.
Yeah, the thing about Ezzy is that like, if you removed her like her neutral special or like definitely lowered the power of it, she still would be a fine character. But it's just because like neutral special is such an incredibly powerful move, you can base your entire neutral game around it and get away with it.
Yeah, I'm not
Because
sure
like
that it's,
outside
that,
of
that
it,
the
she's still
character.
good.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the character, in order to be successful, is forced to like play super projectile dependent, but the fact that it is notably stronger than other things. Like she's still really honestly the character with the most precise movement and she's probably like it depends on what you consider mobility. What is mobility? It's like
I'd say her ability to move with like aerial rush is incredibly powerful if you're like trying to push it that way.
I don't want to call her the most mobile character because that's probably a Shani. But it's mobile in a different way. The most precisely mobile character. Having that plus the projectiles is like it feels like a
recipe
like a
for
not
disaster.
focused. Yeah, it just doesn't feel focused. Doesn't feel like a focused balance, a focused design. You know, it's like two extremely strong suits for the character when most characters don't really need like that type of or don't need that.
It's not necessarily that they don't even need it. It's that like most characters don't even have like neutral options or movement options like that. Like I always love like comparing Ezzy to like Urda because like Urda's best movement thing in neutral is just like, you know, just rushing, whereas Ezzy has all these extra options where she can turn her, plus the projectiles, she can charge a neutral special and like move back and forth during that. She can cancel it with two different options. She has like an incredibly strong float to just like play around the opponent as much as they want because float goes super far. So like you can go from like one platform to another faster than any other character can, which like instead of using that for movement towards the opponent, like the trend for platform fighters is that, oh, fast character, run away. Like you see how it works for Sonic. Sonic has fast movement, but like instead of using it for rushing at the opponent, it's like I'm going to use it for one thing and one thing only, run away. And that's just like the fault of platform fighters. That's not the fault of like any like design choice made by a developer. It's just like platform fighters in general, because there are no walls, running away is always going to be better because grabbing ledge is always a super safe option. You have platforms that you can run off to that certain characters can't reach as easily as others. I think in this game it's a little bit better because, you know, everyone has like an aerial rush rather than an air dodge, so it's easier to reach places faster and react out of it. But at the same time, Aziz goes thrice as far, you know?
So what I'm thinking, guys, is the way that Ezzy, if you think about like dials or meters or whatever, and we need to end the Good Morning RushRev soon, but it's like dials and meters. Her movement's really high. Her projectile game's really high. But it's now like we've compensated that by making everything else basically bad, so that if you don't play around the movement and the projectiles, you can't play the character. And so what I want to try to do is keep the projectiles and keep the movement where they are, which I think is fine. But now say, all right, we're going to give her side tilt a lot more open potential, make it a lot faster, make it much more easy to open and combo into. We can try to make her back air a much more viable combo tool. I think it's really kind of confusing how that move works and like when it's going to start turning around.
That's such a good example too, because a lot of people hit that back air with Ezzy when I'm playing against them, and they're like, "What the heck did I just get hit? Like, what did I just hit with?"
Yeah.
You just slide downwards. There are some situations to where you can just straight up die off stage because of the initial downward smackback before you get launched.
So I think about making back air and forward air like kind of like kid forward air and back air kind of trajectories.
Yeah.
Don't forget that confusing and unviable are two different things.
Right, but confusing is bad.
Yeah, confusing is bad, I would say.
And then
as a bear, that move is a little confusing.
It's super confusing. I think it was a cool experiment, but it's not working. And so the idea is, if you keep projectile and movement gain meters where they are, and it's they're super high and they're super competent for this character, and now you're giving her a lot more tools, where her forward air is much easier to combo into, her back air is much easier to combo into. We now make the character a lot stronger, and so to compensate for that, you basically make the fall speed of Ezzy also a lot higher. So now she'll be easier to combo as well. She's not going to be as slow a character, and it will feel much more like a RushRev character than like this kind of weird thing that's in RushRev right now.
I think that's a good idea. I think that would be fun to test around with or play around with, but like at the same time, you have to be careful on whatever you're adding to Ezzy, because of course she does have like float, and it's not kid float. And like the thing with kid float when he had no meter was that you could kind of like infinitely play around with your opponent like right above him and still kind of get away from him. And now Ezzy has that faster fall speed to where she can reach the ground faster and then float again faster. You have to be really careful on like how you implement that kind of forward air and back air with float, because that was like the problem.
Think about it as like knockback gravity as opposed to like kid fall speed gravity. There's many different types of gravity in this game, which doesn't necessarily make sense. But like when you hit her, she won't go as far away.
Okay.
So you can combo her easier.
I got you.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying be really careful on how you implement that though, because that was the problem with Kid, was that he had very easy horizontal combo ability. He could do it really fast, and then he had float to back it up, so that it was just very strong. I'm just gonna say be really careful. I like the idea, I do, but there could be a problem with it. So
I know you've said that you don't want to do different healths yet because it leads to tweaking, but I think Ezzy, having her with loads of cool strengths and then adding more strengths would be a good candidate for just going, she has literally half the health of everyone else.
No, I wouldn't say half would be a
but
good
directionally
idea.
I'll just say we don't need to figure out exactly what the health number is. Is it 89, is it 91, or whatever? It doesn't matter. But I think that I've been saying that Ezzy is the first candidate for lower health of the class, of everybody in the game. And I think that that's really interesting to explore. I would say that health is one of those things that you explore last. Where it's like, we've done everything else, and we think now that an important part of it is to factor in the health, rather than like... be like, oh, she's too strong, so let's make her health lower. I don't want to do that. So I want to be like, hey, we have the idea of making her health lower. Let's try to get her to a point where that makes sense. And it's part of the character kit. Anyway, we're super far over, but this was a really interesting conversation. And Evil, I just want to like encourage you and anybody who here's somebody who you disagree with in the Discord, they're just saying stuff you don't like. Ask them why they feel that way, and ask them like, so for example, if someone says, I'm making something up, Wei Shan has no spike moves. Blatantly not true thing. You can be like, have you tried using down air? That is a spike. right? And if they say it's not a spike, you can say, oh, like when you use it, you're not getting spikes. And they can say no. You say, well, did you hit this particular hitbox? It has a spike on it, right? And then he goes, oh, well, I don't have it. You can go, well, do you think that maybe it's not easy enough? If you try it in trading mode, you should be able to do it. You can show them a clip. Like, you have to be patient. But if on something that's not as black and white as that example I just gave, when you have a conversation in questions and curiosity and trying to explore and trying to problem solve rather than debate, it leads to things like what we just had, rather than just like back and forth, Ezzy's viable, no she's not, she's viable, no she's not. So try to take that lens with you. I would say not just in this Discord, but just in life. It's like a helpful thing to have. It's going to make your conversations much more productive. But I thought this was great and really, really helpful. And I'd love to do something like this every Good Morning RushRev. Someone's got a hot take, we can figure out what's wrong with different characters. But,
And if you disagree with their hot take that much and they still won't listen, just call them bad. Just call them bad. It works. It works every time.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. If someone has a really bad take and you don't like it and they just are adamant about it, just be like, look, this is my perspective. And like, you don't have to keep arguing it. Like, I do that all the time. People will just say something and I go, well, this is what I think. And I don't say that they're wrong. I'm not saying that I'm better than them. I'm saying, well, this is what I think. I'm not changing my mind. I don't say that second part, but it's like, I just leave it there. And then, like, what are they going to do? They say a million times, no, you're wrong, but my statement still stands. Like, this is what I think. So you don't have to debate stuff, right? Like, we can have much more productive conversations.
I think a lot of times it's important. I've been thinking about this. I think a lot of times it's important to have accurate information though, because a lot of times a comment like something like that is born off of misinformation. Right?
Okay,
It might
let
not
me
even be a feeling thing. It might just be
let me put it this way.
misinformation.
Players' feelings are real, and so this is an example I give all the time. If someone says, Wei Shan is the weakest character in the game. I hate playing Wei Shan. He's so weak. And you go, actually, Wei Shan's win rate is 80%. Is that player suddenly going to have like a eureka moment and be like, oh my god, this whole time I've been playing Wei Shan wrong and he actually is really strong? Like, no, he's not.
No, he's not, because I actually had that moment with
No,
Ezzy
he's
with
not.
someone.
He's not. That's my point. And so, like, the facts don't matter. The facts don't matter. The player's feelings matter. So, and the feelings are real. And so that player, believe it or not, his experience or her experience says that Wei Shan is in fact very, very weak, and it's hard to play Wei Shan. So we need to figure out, especially if you're on the RushRev team, why do they think Wei Shan is weak? Especially because Wei Shan is not weak. How is this happening? Because if this player thinks Wei Shan is weak, very likely there's a lot of other people who think Wei Shan's weak, and that's a problem. So we need to learn from these things, not necessarily convince people anything. Like, our job isn't to teach people anything. Our job is to learn why they have the experience that they have and how we can make it better. So misinformation doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter.
That's an excellent point.
All right. On that note, facts don't matter. See you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That is a fact. We will be here tomorrow morning, or 9:05 if I'm late again. All right. See you guys. Thanks for coming.